Don't get it mistaken, I'm just trying to wake up my people. I said I do this for the block, I do it for the streets. I'm rounding up my dogs, and I ain't talking leash. I'm doing this for y'all, I'm trying to wake my people. I'm giving you my all, hope you give it back to me. I said I do this for the block, I do it for the streets. The ones who doing the bid, I ain't talking auction lease. Never been a farmer, but I'm trying to sow some seeds. Praying they take root and they don't turn into weeds. Hollering, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm doing this for my dogs. I'm doing it for the streets. The ones that's trying to be. The time without release. Hollering, yeah, yeah, yeah. Curse. All because we ain't serve them. Took the chains off the slaves, put it on their brain, made it even worse. Working harder for the master now cause his face grew to turn. Bills coming in the circuit just cause me on TV still got barred up. No Xanax, tight stretch, spandex. Fiddle flipping in the road, hood left his neck, chest, and his back way. My people suffer for it like another, like we crashed stuck in a fishing net. And college filled with philosophies, theories, and ideologies. We don't know who to trust now. Can't even trust the police, cause they'll pull up, shoot the victim, and let the criminal go free. I'm just trying to talk to the hood, man, cause my kinfolk still sleep. It's like we're stuck in the nosebleed. I said I do this for the block, I do it for the streets. I'm rounding up my dogs, and I ain't talking leash. I'm doing this for y'all, I'm trying to wake my people. I'm giving you my all, hope you give it back to me. I said I do this for the block, I do it for the streets. The ones who doing the bid, I ain't talking auction lease. Never been a farmer, but I'm trying to sow some seeds. Praying they take root and they don't turn into weeds. Hollering, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm doing this for my dogs. I'm doing it for the streets. The ones that's look, we got 2020, but we can't see. Education, PhD, witchcraft, sodomy, pedophilia, formicacy, ecstasy, alcohol, and weed. A genius cup, the serpent seed. Face on my people like hot grease. Desensitized, we can't feel a thing. And it all started from birth. We can concede our worth. They took our identity first. Their name was educators, caught us by words and segregators. Tasty confinement to dissipate us. Look at our people, we bottle scrapers. Hated and loved by every nation. Facts. Cause everybody really wanna be a nigga, but they don't really wanna be a nigga. Go through the trials, the struggles, the wilds, the ups and the downs, the in and the outs, the poverty. We can't even fit in the crowd. No, we can't even fit in the crowd. They pointing us out. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Check this out right here, right? Hey, Truth Music Radio is the #1 hottest source of truth music. Come see what all the fuss is about. Every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, we got Zebediah Boaz bringing you evening meditation. Mondays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, DJ ch.4-5 of the Zion Speaks Mix Show will be on the ones and twos. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we got Moshe Ben Yehuda who will bring you truth, scripts, and world events. Every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, our sister Ray Chantel will be bringing you Sister. Every Friday, tap in to Truth, Love, and Redemption with Dimitri Miller, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't forget about me, your op, Brandon Lewis, every Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, where we will search the scriptures for ways to apply them to life with the Script Talk Podcast. All on Truth Music Radio. That's music with a Z, because the Z is for Zion. Powered by the Most High, J Shields Promotions, and Yasharala Nation. Zion, spread the message. Download the app for free on all Apple devices and Android. Shalom.
Ooh, it'll be dope to love. Ooh, make your body a 10 pound. Yeah. Ooh, it'll be dope to love. Make your body a 10 pound. Instead of a club, yeah. Ooh. It'll be dope to love and do away with the devil. The Holy Bible spoke good. True. If you can only get a dose of love that Granny drug does. Dope for a parent to never walk out of their child's life. This love is real. It's more than knowing that you're an Israelite. It'll be dope to leave a door unlocked, not worry about home invaders, gym. Brothers will never prostitute if you ain't teach your son to pimp. Pimp passes more. Drug dealer than a deep boy. Fish that is dope with a lot of cut. Decoy, like knowledge, deep story. How your daddy make you a crack baby, you sold drugs to your mama, boy. You falsifying self-love with abusing your red. Don't love yourself, then you can't love nobody else. Then. Ooh, make your body a 10 pound. Instead of a club, yeah. Ooh, it'll be dope to love. Make your body a 10 pound. Instead of a club, yeah. It would be dope if we let go of jealousy. It would be dope if we let go of envy. It would be dope if we let go of coveting. It would be dope if we let go of hard deceit. It would be dope if we show love to the poor. It would be dope if we lived on one accord. It would be dope if my people kept commandments. It's always dope because the Most High's in control. It would be dope when He sends us back. It would be dope if you could just believe. It would be dope if you just could see. Yeshua with the angels be that justice lead. It would be dope to love. Ooh, make your body a 10 pound. Instead of a club, yeah. Ooh, it'll be dope to love. Make your body a 10 pound. Instead of a club, yeah. It'll be dope. It'll be dope. It'll be dope. It'll be soda. It'll be dope. It'll be dope. It'll be dope to love. Spiritual surgery instead of plastic. Gotta keep this love fresh. Is it? Some range rapid, bagging strips as it moving from state to state. Let's get it to blind saint with the rock of salvation. Get paid in heaven. Where the daughters of Zion, they won't set it body for $40,000 tour. Everybody at the club, huh? It be dope not to participate in the genocide that your race can help to shake that weight. Refuse to lead like I don't regret. Ooh, make your body a 10 pound. Instead of a club, yeah. Ooh. Make your body a 10 pound. Instead of a club, yeah.
What you doing? What you doing? You just gonna sit there, ain't you? You ain't planning on hitting no like button. You ain't planning on subscribing. You just gonna sit there and soak up all the content. Not gonna support. Not gonna spread the message. You ought to be ashamed. Maybe this content ain't for you, but maybe it is. Maybe it's for somebody else. Make sure to follow, subscribe. Life of an Israelite on YouTube and Facebook. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. What up to the brethren? Grand rising, everybody out there in radio land. I hope y'all could hear. Hope y'all could hear all of that. Hope y'all could hear me. You can't hear this background. I am on location, brethren. You've been listening to the podcast for any time. You know, from time to time, your brother gets on location because I be on the road a lot. And I find myself in coffee shops and whatnot trying to bring y'all this content. And get a little loud, get a little hectic where I be, I don't know what. I'm sitting next to a blender. But yeah, man, all praise to the Most High. Thanks to his son, Yahushua HaMashiach. As always, all honor and esteem belongs to the Abba. And all credit and reverence to the one whom he appointed to judge the quick and the dead, his son, Yahushua HaMashiach, the obedient one. Right? May we all be as obedient, even to the point of death. So, welcome to the Script Talk Podcast. This is your brother, Brandon Lewis. And this is where we search the scripture for ways to apply them to life that we might become perfect. That's what it's all about. So, shout out to everybody out there in Radio Land, Truth Music Radio. Everybody out there all across the world is where Truth Music Radio is streaming to. So if you don't got it, those of you listening on Facebook and YouTube, go and get the Truth Music Radio app. Right? They playing Truth Music 24 hours of the day, except when there are podcasts like mine. Shout out to Sis Ray Chantel Graphics. Shout out to Moshe Ben Yehuda. Shout out to DJ Taz 504. Shout out to Elder Dimitri Milligan. Shout out to Elder Zebediah Boaz. Who else? Who else got podcasts on there, man? You know, it's a lot of people bringing you content. Shout out to anybody I might have missed. But that's the kind of content they got for you over there at Truth Music Radio. So you should get over there and check it out. You could get the app from the Play Store or even from the App Store. So it ain't no excuse. You might say, well, I don't like doing apps. Well, you can get over there to truthmusicradio.com, or you even can go to the Truth Music Radio YouTube page. You can listen to them 24 hours a day. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, all right. Sorry, I had to make a quick little move. My laptop about to die. Sorry about that. Hope I didn't bust nobody's eardrum. So anyway, today we're gonna be reading. Today we're gonna be reading the book of All right, all right. Hopefully I'm back. Mic check, mic check. All right, all right. I'm back. I told y'all my laptop was about to die. Well, it died. All praise to the Most High. I was able to get it right back without any further delay. All right, as I was saying before, about to get into the book of Jeremiah, Jeremiah chapter 4 and chapter 5. Um, we do a lot of videos out of Jeremiah because Jeremiah is one of the Nabi, right? The prophets, one of the ones that spoke about the present of that time and about the future. A lot of these things has already come to pass, and a lot of these things are yet to come to pass, right? Because the Most High calls a thing before it even occurs, so that you might know that He is the Most High. Y'all, no one told it to Him, but He tells it to others, right? So, uh, let's get this pulled up here. Uh, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, everybody joining in. Climb on in here. Hit that like button. Just go ahead and hit it. You ain't even got to think about it. Just hit it, quit it. All right. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4. As you know, the book of Jeremiah takes place partly in the land prior to the arrival of the Chaldeans, right? That's the Babylonians. So a lot of the prophecy concerns that captivity, and then a lot of the prophecy concerns the captivity coming after it. So let's get right on into it. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4. If ye return, O Yasharal, says the Master, if you return to me, if you remove your abominations from my presence and do not waver, and if you swear, as the Master lives, in truth, in justice, and in uprightness, then nations shall be Baruch or gifted of by him, right? By the Master, and by him they shall boast. See, a lot of people, they be swearing, right? They be on my mama, on my daddy, on God, right? What he's talking about is if you should, stop living these unclean lives, stop living contrary to the Most High, to the Master, right? And if you shall say in the Master's name, right, in the Most High's name, but you do it in truth, you're not lying, you're not faking, you're not playing, right? As the Master lives in truth, in justice, and in uprightness, right? If you live in right, because all of these are ways of being, right? They are natures, right? A nature of truth, a nature of justice, not intent only, but in actuality, right? If you move in truth, in justice, and in uprightness, he said, then shall the nations be baruched of him. Because it said everybody is baruched by a righteous man. How much more would everybody be baruched by a righteous nation? Right? And it said they shall be baruched of him or blessed of him, and by him they shall boast. When they see that he is working for us and his his power and his will being done in us, then they'll cleave to him, right? That's why he said we have been a reproach because we claim him, we call on his name, but we're not in truth, we're not in justice, we're not in uprightness. So now the people look at us and put our attributes on him. Most I don't like that, right? For thus says the master to the people of Yehuda and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, break up your fallow ground and do not sow among thorns. Circumcise yourselves to the master. Remove the foreskin of your hearts. See, this is what Paul came and talked about. He talked about this. He was the first in the New Testament that I could recall at this moment to speak about circumcising of the heart, right? But where did he get it from? Is he just talking out the side of his neck? Like a lot of people would say that Paul is doing, coming up with his own doctrines and his own ways. But here we see that it has a direct correlation, right? When you talk about ain't no need in you circumcising your flesh if you ain't circumcised your heart, which is right. Because here we got it clear as day in verse 4 of chapter 4 of the book of Jeremiah. Circumcise yourselves to the master. Remove the foreskin. This is the kind of circumcision that's talking about to the master. Remove the foreskin of your hearts. It's not talking about do some kind of a surgical operation and go in with a scalpel and cut some kind of skin off your heart. No, it's talking about spiritually, right? Remove the foreskin from your hearts, O people of Yehuda and inhabitants of Jerusalem, or else my wrath will go forth like fire and burn with no one to quench it because of the evil of your doings. Listen, it's not really a recommendation, it's a command that you do this. It's a command. Now, granted, you don't have to listen to commands, but it's consequences when you don't listen to commands. That's how the Most High Yah move, right? You don't. You ain't gotta listen to Paul. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't got to listen to nobody. You gotta listen to me. You can turn the channel, turn your radio dial. You know, swipe left, all that. But at the end of the day, it's consequences behind not listening to these words. You know what the consequences is? Or else my wrath, not my wrath, Most High's wrath, right, will go forth like fire and burn with no one to quench it. Listen, ain't no man shall buy them. Nobody's gonna be able to save you from this judgment that's gonna come from you not circumcising your hearts, right? Because of the evil of your doings. Torah. Verse 5, declare in Yehuda and proclaim in Jerusalem and say, blow the trumpet through the land, shout aloud and say, gather together and let us go into the fortified cities. You know what that means? It's war going on. That's what you do when it's wartime. Raise a standard toward Zion, flee for safety. Do not delay, for I am bringing evil from the north and a great destruction. Look, it then went from a cry to a judgment. And like, man, hey, listen, Get rid of this. Stop doing this. But you know what? You're hard headed. You ain't gonna do it. So let me tell you what I'm gonna do. Ain't that bad? Ask yourself, is he crying to you today? Is he crying to you? Is he pleading with you to circumcise the foreskin of your hearts? Right? You don't want him to immediately go into judgment on you. That's what you don't want. That's what you don't want. You don't want judgment. See, but here he's already saying, listen, it's going down. Cause he ain't gonna listen. He ain't gonna listen. So here come, here come this here, verse 7. A lion has gone up from its thicket. A destroyer of nations has set out. He has gone out from his place to make your land a waste. Your cities will be ruins without inhabitant. Most High is saying, listen, I'm done playing games with you. Now it's gonna get real bad. Why? Because you won't circumcise the foreskin of your heart. Because you won't remove the abominations from you. You know, how long do you expect them to keep playing with you, brethren? Not even playing with you. How long do you expect him to keep being humble and to keep being compassionate and to keep being long suffering? Some point you got to take this whooping because you don't respect nothing else apparently. You know, when you was a kid and you don't tell you that don't do this, don't do that, and you do it anyway because you think she ain't gonna do nothing, or your father, mind you, everybody didn't grow up in a single parent household. So, either way, whoever your parent is, your authoritarian, your grandma, your granddaddy, your auntie, your uncle, whoever, right? Do you expect them to not bring consequence to you for going against their instructions? See, a lot of people look in these scriptures trying to figure the scriptures out. We need to look in these scriptures so we can know how to live, so we can be corrected, so we can be guided in life. Trying to figure out what was the time frame of Jeremiah. You know, is it this? Is it that? Something that's outside of yourself. You got to get these scriptures, man, and take them inside. Inside. Verse 8. Because of this, put on sackcloth, lament, and wail. The fierce anger of the master has not turned away from us. On that day, says the master, courage shall fail the king and the officials, and the priest shall be appalled. The, the Kohanim shall be appalled, and the Nabi, or the prophets, astounded. Then I said, master power, how utterly have you deceived this people and Jerusalem, saying, it shall be well with you, even while the sword is at the throat. See, this is when you have to pay attention to context, right? The Most High did promise great things, even all the way back to Moshe, even all the way back to Noah. You know, he promised this latter end. He promised this remnant of peace, right? So it's like he also promised destruction. He also promised captivity. But see, on the flip side, see, that's what we have to look to. The flip side. That's right. It shall be well with you. It's a flip side to that, right? Because it shall be well with you if you do this, if you do that. It shall be well in the latter days after you go through all this stuff, after you in the land of your captivities. Why are you gonna be spread to the four corners? Why are you gonna be in these other lands in captivities? Because of your wickedness, because of your hardened heart. See, we look at the Most High in our hard times and we say, why? Not even understand he already told you why. He told you why. Because you got to circumcise the foreskin of your heart. You got to remove the unclean thing. You got to stop partaking in abomination. You got to stop taking on the ways of your oppressor and envying all his ways. You know, don't just look and say, you have deceived this. No, he ain't deceived his people. It shall be well with you after I finish beating beating you to the white meat. You know why? Because when I beat you to the white meat, then you're gonna have some sense, and then you're gonna act right, and then I can treat you right. He said, I was contrary to you because you was contrary to me. Why is this sword at your throat? Because you've been contrary to me and you've been playing with me, and I done sent these people at you. See, that's what we gotta understand. That's what we gotta understand is that the Most High is is just. He is right. He is upright. And everything he do it for a reason. And he don't he's not he's not pleased to hurt and to harm. He said, I will not have compassion. I will not have mercy. You know what that means? Before he didn't have it, he had it. That's what we need to understand. And you see in the scriptures all the time. You see it in Jeremiah. This is chapter 4. Go back to chapter 3 and read. Go back to chapter 1. You hear him pleading. Go to Ezekiel. Go to Isaiah. You hear him pleading the whole time. Why did you do? You doing this? You doing that? Stop! Stop! Don't do it! Stop! Stop! And what do? We do it. Continue on. Now, when the sword at a throat, you want to say, you deceived me. You said it was going to be well with me. Yeah, I said it was going to be well if you do what I say. Verse 11. At that time, it will be said to this people and to Jerusalem, a hot wind comes from me out of the bare heights in the desert toward my poor people, not to the winnow or clean, not to winnow or cleanse. A wind too strong for that. Now it is I who speak in judgment against them. Listen, he said, what was meant for your tube is going to be meant for your harm. You know, hot wind, you know, used to be a good thing, a tube thing, used to cleanse, used to purge, you know. It's gonna cleanse and purge this time, but not gonna be to your liking. it's it it ain't coming to purge anything outside of you. It's coming to purge you now, right? Now it is I who speak judgment against them. 13, look, he comes up like clouds, his chariots like the whirlwind, his horses are swifter than eagles. Woe to us, for we are ruined. That's how they be when that belt coming. You know, you've been warned and warned. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. You better stop. You better stop. I'm gonna get you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I'm gonna stop. But you're over there playing with your, little brother, your little sister, your big brother, your big sister, with your cousin. You're having a good old time. Not listening, doing what you want to do. I'm telling you now. You better stop. I'm gonna get you. Yeah, okay, okay. Go back to playing, laughing. And then you go and look in that doorway, and there go your mom or your daddy or your uncle or whoever it is been telling you to stop. Now they holding a belt. You know what you want to say then? Woe to us. We are ruined. But I didn't. I didn't. Oh no. Oh no, it's too late now. Oh, it's too late now. Bring your little happy-go-lucky tail here and let me talk to you. That's what the Most High is saying. 14. Oh, Jerusalem, wash your heart clean of wickedness so that you may be saved. How long shall your evil schemes lodge within you? For a voice declares from Dan and proclaims disaster from Mount Ephraim. Tell the nations, here they are. Proclaim against Jerusalem. Besiegers come from a distant land. They shout against the cities of Yehuda. They have closed in around her like watchers of a field because she has rebelled against me, says the master. Oh, hold on. Why is this persecution coming? Why is the Chaldeans gonna be all around? Why was the Greeks all around? Why was the Romans all around? Why was the 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 uh pilgrims and the Quakers all around. Why? Because she has rebelled against me, says the master. Why you catching hell? Why you get fired from your job? Why you losing everything you ever thought you wanted to have or you thought you had? Why you catch this disease and this cancer and this ailment and that ailment? Why? Because she has rebelled against me, says the master. Well, guess what he said prior to that? Guess what he said prior to that, right? And he said, wash your heart clean of wickedness. That rebellion, that rebellion is wickedness and witchcraft. That rebellion about what? The rebellion against what he said do and what he said don't do. You rebel, so you do what he said don't do, and you don't do what he said to do, and then he bring that punishment. Right? Scroll on back down here. Verse 19, my anguish, I writhe in pain. See, that's how they talk. Owie, owie. When a little kid get whooped, ouch, ouch, ouch. I won't do it no more. I won't do it no more. Yeah, yeah, I know it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My anguish, I writhe in pain. Oh, the walls of my heart is beating wildly. I cannot sleep. For I hear the sound, the trumpet, the alarm of war. Listen, don't do all that crying now, brethren. Don't cry now. You know what I'm saying? Choose you this day whom you shall serve. So you don't find yourself in verse 19 about my anguish, my anguish. You know? I think I want to get into some music real quick. Because we are on Truth Music Radio. That's music with the Z. Because the Z is for Zion, brethren. My brother Emanon then uploaded 2 new songs. I don't even think I heard these songs. We're gonna play one of them for you right here. It's Emanon Yasharala, right? You could find this particular song on Fervent Prayers channel, right? Fervent Prayers, Fervent Prayers channel on YouTube. And this is Emanon Yasharala with Ready.
I'm telling them they gotta be ready. The Most High say we gotta be ready. You feel? All praises to Yah. Kingdom work. Righteous man died once, but a coward will die 1,000 deaths. I ain't make the rules. I was born into it. I ain't know what's next. I was full of sin, iniquity abound. I was in my flesh, man reborn, man on fire. Ruach HaKodesh guiding me into all truths. Show me where I'm supposed to be. Script gang, I run and shoot, hitting all targets. He showed to me that ancient path, we bout that. Kingdom goes, I rep that. Set apart that life choice, I move with purpose, no stepping back. That Torah bound, so I stay ready. Emunah, I stay ready. Whole armor, I stay ready. No paper soldiers, they stay ready. They swords up, shields up. Ready for war and not ashamed. Crying out to the lost sheep to seek repentance. This not a game. The preparation of a man's heart from Elohim, my steps ordered. Every day with these new mercies. Fringes hang on blue borders. Feast days and appointed times. Rule walk when I speak tongues. Path to worship, I move with purpose. Getting ready for my king to come. No sleeping when the war is on, yeah. Better be ready. No retreating, we stand strong, yeah. Tell them you ready. Always keep my weapon on me. Better be ready. No surrender when the press is on me. Tell them you ready. Tell them you ready. Tell them you ready. Tell them you ready. Try to be ready. Better be ready. Tell them the nation doesn't got right in the middle right now. Tell them you always be ready. Now what does it profit a man to gain the whole world, lose his soul? What can he give in exchange for? When you find out, then let me know. I had the demons kicking my tail. No defense, so I ain't know how not to use carnal weapons. I just turn up the beat and go. Riding 610, hit 45 south, rolling regardless. I need to hear the voice of the Most High, Yah. That living waters got me. That daily bread got me. Failure is not an option. This the most feared record label. Whole world watches. I'm in St. Louis. Stick to the scripts. We We gon' show you how the saints do it. True saints music. Smoke in the temple. We must repair the breach. Known for the fruit you bear. We turn and face the east. Bridegroom coming. Don't be like the foolish virgins. Keep some oil in your lamps. Fight hard to break these curses. War's on, you must be ready. Strapped up, I'm on a mission. There's a soul out here needs saving. And I'm out here trying to get it. We say when the war is on, you say, better be ready. No retreat, it was ready. Tell the soldiers, better be ready. Yeah. Always keep my weapon on me. Tell them be ready. No surrender when the verse is on me. Tell them be ready. Tell them be ready. Kingdom. Tell them be ready. 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 All kings coming. Kings come out here in the street right now. You know what I'm talking about? Get ready. Let them be ready. Come, get ready. Kid, come, get ready. Tell them kid, come, get ready. Kid, come, get ready. We know that the weapons of all warfare are not carnal. Kid, come, get ready. Mighty through your hood. Come, get ready. To the pulling down the strongholds. Kid, come, casting aside all imaginative things that is in contrary to the knowledge of the Most High's power. The Holy One of Yahshua. This is a call to wake up the tribes. Where will you be when the bride comes? King come, get ready. Will you be ready? Come, get ready. Get ready. I pray we all be ready. Yeah, be ready. Yeah, be ready. Tell them, be ready. Ready, be ready. Tell them, be ready. Ready.
Kingdom come and get ready. Yes, sir. That's it. That's right. Brethren, kingdom come and get ready. And that's what we're talking about here in Jeremiah. You know what I'm talking about? Gotta get ready. These people wasn't ready. You know what old boy said, Kevin Hart, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Well, you don't want to be like that one. All right. Verse 20, chapter 4 of the book of Jeremiah. Yahoo. Disaster overtakes disaster. The whole land is laid waste. Suddenly my tents are destroyed, my curtains in a moment. How long must the standard and hear the sound of the trumpet? For my people are foolish. They do not know me. They are stupid children. They have no understanding. They are skilled in doing evil, but do not know how to do good. Brethren, this is the most high talk. This is the most high's thoughts. Do you hear this? You know what I mean? We kings, we priests, we a holy people. Granted, the remnant of the people, the ones that truly cleave, the ones that that make the Most High's word their name, right? I need to say that again. The ones that make the Most High's word their name. Shout out to my brother Kafa, Judges of Yahshua on Facebook. You know, he said that. He said that, and you know, I understood immediately what he said. He said, "The Most High's word is my name." You know, and I said, "You know what? It better be. You know what I'm talking about? It better be your nature. It better be what you live by. It better be your code of conduct." You know what I'm talking about? And that's exactly who he's talking about when he said a righteous priesthood. When he said who is a Kodash nation, those that live that way. You know, if you're gonna live like a heathen, you a heathen. And that's just the bottom line about it. You know, your bloodline don't save you, brethren. You know, your bloodline condemns you. You know why it condemns you? Because you got better in you. You ain't got no reason. If you come from a family of cooks, you know, your family been cooking since cooking been cooking. I'm talking about real cooking. Blue, you know, cordon bleu and all that, you know what I'm saying? They really get down. And you don't know how to, you know, you don't know how to cook Roman noodles. You know what I'm talking about? you know, you burn water, you know, ain't no excuse for you other than the fact you lazy and you ain't worth a penny with a hole in it. And these are the type of people that the Most High is talking about here in verse 22. If you don't make his word your name, you are foolish and you don't know him. You know what I mean? You're not wise. Because then what? The fear of the Most High Yah is the beginning of wisdom. So you can't fear him if you don't know him. If you don't know him, you're going to be foolish. Because if you don't know him, you can't fear him and you can't be wise. If that's the beginning of wisdom, then you don't know him, you know, you can't have it. Verse 22, for my people are foolish. They do not know me. They are stupid children. Listen, in case you're misunderstanding what he's talking about, in case you didn't understand the foolish and not knowing me, he said they are stupid children. And even to add more coal to the fire, they have no understanding. It said, all with all you're getting, you get an understanding. It said you get knowledge, you get understanding, and you get wisdom. In reverse, he said you ain't got no understanding, you don't know me, meaning you ain't got knowledge. And then he said you're foolish, meaning you're not wise. Hey, it's all bad. It's all bad, brethren. They are skilled in doing evil, but do not know how to do good, how to do too. Right? Verse 23, I looked on the earth, and lo, it was waste and void, and to the heavens, and they had no light. I looked on the mountains, and lo, they are quaking, and all the hills moved to and fro. I looked, and lo, there was no one at all, and all the birds of the air had fled. I looked, and lo, the fruitful land was a desert, and all its cities were laid in ruins before the master, before his fierce anger. Hey, listen, that don't sound like a bunch of Caucasoid people gonna be living in it, and at the Wailing Wall and all this old stuff. That don't sound like nobody's gonna be up in there. I could be wrong, but it said I looked, and lo, the fruitful land was a desert. Up above it, it said there was no one at all. You know, Anyway, 26. And all its cities laid in ruins before the master, before his fierce anger. For thus, one second. For where am I? I lost my place there. Okay, 27, chapter 4. For thus saith the master, the whole land shall be a desolation, yet I will not make a full end. Because of this, earth shall mourn, and the Shemaim, or the heavens above, grow black. For I have spoken, and I have purposed. I have not relented, nor will I turn back. At the noise of the horsemen and archers, every town takes to flight. They enter thickets, they climb among rocks. All the towns are forsaken, and no one lives in them. And you, old desolate one, what do you mean that you dress in crimson, that you deck yourself with ornaments of gold, your eyes with paint? In vain you beautify yourself. Your lovers despise you. They seek your life. Listen, brethren, what did Hamashiach say? Uh, they shall be eating and drinking and giving in marriage. You know what that means? They're gonna be feasting. They're gonna be feasting. They're gonna be kicking it. They're gonna be having feast days. They said the Romans came. When they came? During a feast day. You know what they had on? They was decking themselves in crimson, ornaments of gold, and the women was painting their eyes with paint, beautifying. They say, listen, ain't no point in you getting beautiful. Y'all finna die. Y'all finna be all your joy. The joy of the bridegroom is gonna be taken from. Listen, man, he said this in Jeremiah. The joy of the bridegroom is gonna cease from the land. Man, listen. In vain you beautify yourself. Your lovers despise you. They seek your life. All these nations who, you've been buddy buddy with. See, prior to um I don't think we had any kind of dealings with the Chaldeans. We might have dealt with the Chaldeans against the Assyrians, right? Because we tend to do that. When the Greeks came, um, I think we partnered with the Greeks against the Persians, and I think we partnered with the Romans against the Greeks. Uh, Now I know Josephus said that we partnered. Okay, Maccabees tells us we made league with the Greeks, right? I mean agreements, right? When it started going bad with the Greeks, we made league with the Romans to fight against the Greeks. All these people ended up turning on us. The Greeks turned on us, right? The Romans turned on us. So it's kind of safe to say that and Ezekiel talks about how we 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 love these other nations. You know, I think it was referring to the Assyrians and all of that. So, you know, everybody we think to partnership with to lighten our burdens instead of serving the Most High, right? Which is the same problem we have today. Uh, we uh, we get tied into these places, tied into these nations. You got people right now that can't come into the truth. You know why? Because of their jobs. They can't come into the truth because they still affiliated. They affiliated in these Greek fraternities. They affiliated in these secret Masonic orders. It's the same thing. You got people making covenants with the enemy instead of truly serving their power. That's why we fall. That's why we go through so much. Because the goal has never been the most high. The goal has been pleasure. The goal has been how can I make it easy on myself, even to the point of selling your soul, and it's not some deal where it's a, your soul is mine on a piece of paper. This ain't Mortal Kombat, brethren. I mean, it is in a way, but it's not some person taking over your soul. No, it's you compromising your values. It's you compromising the commandments and the ways that the Most High would have you to take upon yourself. You compromise with these people instead of, right? These people are being brought by him on you as a judgment, right? Instead of you turning to him and seeking his face, you said, well, maybe, if I go and make peace with them. That's what they said in Maccabees. Maybe we should go make peace with the Greeks, and things will be well with us. Only thing happened, they ended up compromising even more, right? They compromised themselves even more, where they started having gymnasiums in Jerusalem. And you know what they did in gymnasiums? They was in there naked, wrestling with men, naked, and they're doing homosexual stuff, or real homo-ish activities. That's what they was doing. That's what the lifestyle was. That's what the compromise began to be, and it got worse and worse. To the Most High brought judgment upon them with Antiochus Epiphanes. All right, that's what happened. It get worse and worse and worse. You think, oh, I'm just gonna do this job, and I'm just gonna join this little secret thing so I could get money, so I can get a house, so I can take care of my family. I'm gonna sell out for good reason. So woe to them that call evil good and call good evil. It's good to stay and wait on the Most High. You know what? Somebody said, "Nah, man, you gotta get what you gotta get by any means necessary." See, that's calling evil good and good evil. So this is what happened. It said, in vain you beautify yourself. That's what you're doing when you're selling out and you're compromising. You're beautifying yourself because you're selling out for a reason. You're compromising for a reason. You know, a lot of these women, they put this makeup and stuff on. They put the hair in. They put the eyelashes in. They do it for a reason. They're beautifying themselves, right? Enlarging your eyes with paint. It's like you beautify yourself in vain. And that ain't gonna help you. That ain't gonna help you. Your lovers, your lovers despise you. You despise yourself, truth be told. Not just the women. I'm talking about us. Anybody that compromises righteous morals and righteous values, they truly don't like themselves. They can't because you're putting yourself in harm's way, brother. Verse 31. For I heard a cry as a woman, as of a woman in labor, anguish as of one bringing forth her first child, the cry of daughter Zion, gasping for breath, stretching out her hands. Woe is me! I am fainting before killers. Listen, death is on the way. It's on the way. You're not listening. You're not heeding. You're not correcting. It's coming. It's coming. All right. Jeremiah. We are in chapter 5. Let's get another song in real quick. Let's get another song in real quick, brethren. I think I'm probably due for a commercial. Let me see something real quick. Uh, Shout out to my sis. All right, this is Navasha V. Shout out to the House of Serve out of Cincinnati, Ohio. This is Hands on Me by Navasha V. Find it on SoundCloud, brethren. Let's get it.
Hands on me, yeah. Feel like God got his hands on me, yeah. Feel like God got his hands on me, yeah. Feel like God got his hands on me, even though I don't know what the plan's gonna be. Feel like God got his hands on me, yeah. Feel like God got his hands on me, yeah. Feel like God got his hands on me, yeah. Feel like God got his hands on me, even though I don't know what the plan's gonna be. Let's go. Hand on my life, can't you see it's apparent? Yeah, I raised spirit-based together, they are my parents. Those who do the will of Elohim, them will be the ones that they esteem. Not chasing a dream, don't live by cream. Cash don't rule, a dang on thing. He put me here, I didn't have to scheme. You just have to listen to the words he brings. Songs of Zion are the songs I sing. Being submissive, loving my king. Head at home and the one that redeemed. Ladies stand up, let's live like queens. That's the type. We help right, they try to blind you. This your sight. It's time to grow up. Tell them Barbies good night. Cut the string from the puppets, we can quiet down the hype. Israelite, I rep tight. Yeah, how I shine light. Shine so bright. I've been through a lot. I still fight to keep his commandments and try to live right. Try to love the sinner and still hate the sin. Let love motivate when I tell them to repent. Mother, father, next of kin. When you think Tesla gang, please think when. If you let your Tesla swing, you win. Time to work on your heart. Repent, play your position with position, play his will, manifest, foundation lay, children saved, bills are paid, don't you behave with Jezebel ways, don't let sex lead, let the man lead, release that greed, pray to intercede, motherhood is the true essence of your being, Genesis 2 explains what I mean, Hebrew women, some women, different shades, gotta really love, not live like slaves, Navasha V, standard praise, lioness roar, watch me praise.
All right. Shout out to my sister Vasha V. Uh, let's get into another one. Let's get into another one real ch.quick. Get into my ch.4-5 again. This is a banger right here. This is The Connect. Emanon Yasharala featuring vocals. Oh, hold on. Not yet. Got a commercial. Sorry. Let's get this out the way. Get this commercial out the way. You know. All right. There we go. Let's get it.
Vultures feasting on the carcasses, I see you. Law Moses still following the procedures. Bars autonomous, Israelites anonymous. Set apart cartoons, the world listening, they watching us. Greyhound grinding, kept a pound with me. These days, keep my sword and righteous sounds with me. Rest in peace to the old man, bold as a lion, and I ain't running from no man. Passover, broad passing over all the houses. Whole armor, a yard, that's my outfit. Whole outfit, they bout that. Living waters, I die your thirst without that. Floods, fire, pestilence, beating down your front door, terrifying your residence. Every new moon, we getting closer to that great and terrible day. Heathen thinking they safe. Try and hide behind your riches, you ain't got enough. Rich man in that parable, sin still got him touched. I just pray we are forgiven and I'm received when my time is up. Prepare for persecution, can't drink from a cup. Ordinary love. No ordinary love. This is no ordinary love. No ordinary love.
Oh, man. Sorry about that, y'all. And get right back. Lost connection.
Sun rising over Memphis, Tennessee. I proceed about my father's business. Garments all white, swinging fringes. Next day, studio all black, mirror image, blue ribbon on me. Shofar blowing to the Shamayim. We observe the Moadim, appointed times, never dismayed at the signs. Active as heaven, movie unfolds, just an understudy cast for a leading role. Whole world wanna kill me, they don't feel me, they assuming the old me is the real me. Fervent prayers, many days, looking for a change. Through Hamashiach, I could do all things. Ancestry, the ancient path is what we learn. Streets hot with the truth, feel the fire when it burns. Phone ringing off the hook. Hard to answer when your folks don't understand the old life that you forsook. Feel the winds of change, never claiming to know it all, but I'm so involved, levels that you don't know it all. I just pray that when it's time, we all rise when Yahuwah calls. This is all no ordinary love. No ordinary love. This is no ordinary love. No ordinary love.
Mm-hmm. I pray thee, such an atrocity to see one do away with such talent, to take said thing and put it in napkin, bury it in the ground. Wicked is a servant boy. Him say, worry of the kingdom. That's what him say.
All right, all right. Shout out to Emanon Yasharala. Let's get back into this Jeremiah chapter 5 now. All right. Verse 1, Jeremiah chapter 5. Run to and fro through the streets of Jerusalem Look around and take note. Search its squares and see if you could find one person who acts justly and seeks truth, so that I may pardon Jerusalem. Listen, same thing happened with Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, if there was enough righteousness in the land, he would have spared it. Guess what? He didn't spare it. He didn't spare them, and he didn't spare this. So I think when we find out who we are, I think the first thing that comes into mind is pride. But I think the first thing that needs to come to mind is caution. It's caution. When we read the scriptures, we read about the patriarchs, we read about the exceptions to the rule. You read about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You read about you know, King David. You read about Hezekiah. You read about the apostles and all this, right? You're reading about the exceptions to the rule. And then you read about a lot of people that had their own faults. They just had the mindset to take those faults and to turn to the Most High and to stick with him until he perfected them, right? That's the difference, right? But as a whole, we are hard-headed and stiff-necked people. Like he said, sottish children. People that won't hear the word of the Most High. People that don't know the Most High. People that have no knowledge, have no understanding. That's what he speaks about us as a whole. We don't. I mean, this is book, brethren. I know it sounds cold. Like, man, why is he saying all that? Because you need to know it. You need to know your people was not really highly thought of as a whole in righteousness' sake. I'm not talking about for your style of dress. I'm not talking about for your praise and worship. I'm not talking about for you know your temple and your land and its beauty and all that. All of this stuff is beauty. And guess what the Most High said? Beauty is vain. No, we the fastest, we the strongest, we the smartest, we all this. But Most High don't care nothing about all that. He say he look to the inner man. And what have we been inwardly? Been wicked. See? That's the part we need to really understand. You can go to all the conferences and you sit there and you clap and you praise and you shalom and you shalom and all this. That's beauty. What is your life? When you leave from this conference, when you leave from this Shabbat study, who are you? Do you do justice to the orphan, to the widow? Do you judge rightly between yourself and others or between others? Do you hold a standard of uprightness? Do you keep the Most High's ways? That is what we really want to know. Nobody give a damn that you got fringes on your shirt. Nobody care that you take off on Saturday or you take off on the lunar day and all that. I mean, that's too. That means you are you are attempting to heed to certain instructions. But guess what? That is not the fullness of the instructions. That's 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 kindergarten. Observing Shabbat, wearing fringes, keeping feasts. That's kindergarten stuff. Heathens can do that. Tell a heathen, listen, you don't go to work on Saturday. Yeah, cool. I ain't got to go to work on Saturday. I wanted to be off anyway. You can't eat pork. Well, I don't like the taste of pork anyway. I don't care nothing about no bottom feeders, shrimp, catfish. I don't care. You can be wicked and do this stuff. You know what you can't be wicked and do? Have the fruits of the Ruach, have joy, have gladness, long suffering, be patient, be meek, be humble. be upright. You can't do that. You can't. At least not for long periods of time. You know what they say? It's only so long fake thugs can pretend. We need to know this. I get a lot of flack for being so hard. But listen, it ain't about me being hard. It's about me being truthful and making plain to you error in accordance with the scripture, not to take your mind away about this breakdown and reveal that, you know, Joseph was the daddy or some long reason for why Joseph wasn't the daddy. And that is not going to help you be a husband, be a wife, be a son of the Most High, be a son or daughter to your mothers and your fathers, to be a brother and a sister to your sisters and your brothers. That's not going to help you do that, brethren. That's what you need. That's the inner man. And we do focus on everything outside of it. Look at what he said right here. Look around and take notes. Search its squares. Run through the streets of Jerusalem. See if you can find one person who acts justly and seeks truth. What this got to do with breakdowns? What this got to do with prophecy and mysteries? He didn't say nothing about nobody that no prophecies and mysteries. He didn't say find somebody that don't eat chicken. Find somebody who only eats salads and fruits and veggies. It's not what he said. He said find someone who acts justly and who seeks truth so that I may pardon Jerusalem. Why? On the account of the righteous. Man, listen, man. I hope you heard something. A lot of meat on that bone. I hope you eat it slowly. Verse 2, although they say, as the master live, if you remember in chapter 4, he said, if you say as the Lord liveth in truth and in justice, and in uprightness, he said, then you'll be Baruch. Then all these good things will be, right? He said, you said the master lives, say, yet they swear falsely. You're not doing it in truth. You're not doing it in justice. You calling on the Most High's name. See, that's what it is. That's blasphemy. When you make it void, called on the Most High's name, but you not got the characteristics, because you don't qualify to call me. Hey, listen, that's what he's trying to say. That's what he's saying to you, brethren. Listen, he said, you don't qualify. What you do? How you get my number? You don't calling me. I said, you swear falsely. He said, but if you right, if you swear, if you call on my name uprightly, he said, then blessings coming. Blessings coming behind when you're upright. Verse 3, oh master, do your eyes not look for truth? You have struck them, but they felt no anguish punishing you. You don't think there's nothing wrong with it. You don't think there's nothing wrong with it. You ain't considering. He said, my people don't consider. He said, you have struck them. You didn't, you didn't, you know, you know, you didn't send the Assyrians. You didn't send word about these Chaldeans coming. You done told your prophets about things. They didn't kind of they done told the people. So you heat it up. He said he heated up 7 times 7. So it's an escalation. You done escalated it. You have struck them. They felt no anguish. You have consumed them, but they refused to take correction. This is your bloodline. When you want to, we are a nation of kings and priests. No, the latter end is going to be that. Those that made it through the fire, those that made it through the tribulation, those that made the Most High's word their name, those that put on the armor of the Most High Yah, those that put on Yahushua HaMashiach, they going to be a nation of Malakim and Kohanim. Not you little raggedy niggas. Not even myself. If I don't get myself together, if I don't do those things, I'm putting myself, in that, right? So, but they refuse to take correction. They have made their faces harder than rock. They have refused to turn back. Guess what that means? They refuse to turn back. That means something is calling them back and they not listening to it. Ask yourself, is he calling you back and you're not listening? Have you gone astray? Did you used to be on point, now you off? See, sometimes we slide off. We slide off unknowingly. We slide off unconsciously. The whole time you're like, hey, you're sleepwalking. And you know about sleepwalkers. They be up moving around, but they sleep. You know what they say? Don't wake them. Don't wake them. You gonna mess their brain up. Most High don't say that. Most High said, wake up. The Most High said, Kwam Yasharala. Rise, O Israel. Awake, O Israel. Shema Israel. You know what I'm saying? Verse 4. Then I said, these are only the poor. They have no sense, for they do not know the way of the master, the law of their power. Let me go to the rich. So, maybe the poor folks, they don't know because, they're not well educated. Maybe they just doing what poor folks do. Let me go to the rich and speak to them. Surely they know the way of the master, the law of their power. Maybe that money means something. But they all alike had broken the yoke. They had burst the bonds. Listen, you know what a Mashiach said? Come to me. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. Listen, you're going to serve somebody. You're going to be under somebody's yoke. Either going to be Hasatan or it's going to be the Most High Yah by way of Yahushua HaMashiach. You're going to be under somebody's burden. But guess what he said? They all alike had broken the yoke and had burst the bonds. They don't want to be, you know, uh, 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 what he said? Under a light yoke and an easy burden. And said, I don't want to be under no yoke and no burden, fooling themselves. Because in doing that, in taking off the yoke and the bond of the Most High Yah, you put on the yoke and the bond of Hasatan, brethren. You know what they say? I ain't doing all that old Bible stuff, man. I ain't doing that Shabbat. Man, listen, that stuff don't mean nothing, man. I'm gonna laugh now, cry later. I'm gonna do as I wilt. That's man-made religion. That's man stuff. And they fancy themselves of making themselves free when they break the yoke and they burst the bonds of the covenant and they say, I'm gonna go and live my own way and do my own thing. They thinking they making themselves free. They really making themselves a greater servant of Hasatan. Because now they finna go do more wickedness, more evil, more against the Most High, y'all. And you know what that is? That's servitude. That's bondage. And then guess what? They ain't going to be able to stop. You know why they ain't going to be able to stop? Because their salvation has left. The one that came and spoke to the prisoners, the one that came and set the prisoners free. They left him and went back. So who gonna save you now? The only one that could have saved you came and saved you, and you left him. Where you gonna go after that? That's why Paul said, "What sacrifices left when you came into this knowledge and and you turn and leave?" Maybe that wasn't Paul. I think that was James. At the same time, still, where you gonna go? That's what Peter said. Where else we gonna go? And they had all them people following Yahushua. It was like 120 of them, and they, what 108 left. And it was like, uh, y'all ain't gonna go too, Peter. Where we going? know where the mother people went? Into bondage. Verse 6, therefore a lion, because listen, this is what happened. This this is what happens, brethren, when you break the yoke and you burst the bonds of the Most High Yah, the covenant, the bondage of the covenant. When you break it and you think you find yourself free, say, I'm free now. I can do what I want. Guess what's coming? Verse 6. Therefore a lion from the forest shall kill them. A wolf from the desert shall destroy them. A leopard is watching against their cities. Every one who goes out of them shall be torn in pieces, because their transgressions are many and their apostasies are great. See, when you leave, you're gonna go off and get off into all kind of stuff, and you're gonna find yourself destroyed from these things. They're gonna make you worse. You're gonna get higher than you ever got. You're gonna get drunker than you ever got. You're gonna commit more fornication and more adultery than you ever committed. And listen, it's gonna destroy you. That's what happens when you don't want to be under the yoke and the bond of the Most High Yah by way of Yahushua Mashiach. That's what happened to you. How can I pardon you? Verse 7. Your children have forsaken me and have sworn by those who are no God. He said, you swear by my name. When you swear by my name, that means you acknowledging me. You saying this. You do a thing by me when you put my name in it and you do it rightly and justly. He said at the top of the thing, you're not swearing rightly. You're not swearing in truth. You're doing it falsely. Now he's saying, not only are you not even swearing by me, even wrong, he said you swearing by other gods. You didn't went all the way off now. When I fed them to the full, they committed adultery and trooped to the houses of prostitutes. They were well fed, lusty stallions, each nine for his neighbor's wife. So having all these big, big swole dudes with no no morals, no values, well fed, lusty stallions. You know what he'll do? You know what your ox will do that ain't got no moral compass? He ain't even your ox. He just your fellow countryman. You know what he'll do if he ain't got no high moral standing, if he's not under the yoke and bond of the covenant truly, he gonna knife his wife, puff his chest out, flex his muscles, trying to entice her. That's what he gonna do. Shall I not punish them? Likewise, the women will do the same thing to to your brothers. Come on, scantily dressed, breasts all out, legs all out, trying to show, trying to flaunt fame for the husband of their sisterin and the brothers of their east. Shall I not punish them for these things, says the master? And shall I not bring retribution on a nation, says the sailors? What do they expect to get? Do they think I'm not going to do something behind it? Anybody that ever looked at me wrong, they did. You know what I'm talking about? That's what he's saying. Like, listen, people got to pay for what they've done. Go through her vine rows and destroy, but do not make a full end. Strip away her branches, for they are not the masters. These are all these little kids you got running around here, all these little things. Listen, man, kill these folk. They're not finna do nothing. They're not finna do nothing. When I bring destruction on the parents, they gon' they gonna get right. And they gonna have some kids. They gonna say, listen, you don't do that against the Most High. He killed all your brothers and sisters. You don't do that to the Most High before he kill you too. That's how he said, man. Strip away the branches, man. They think they know something. For the house of Yasharal and the house of Yehuda have been utterly faithless to me, says the master. They have spoken falsely of the master and have said, he will do nothing. No evil will come upon us, and we shall not see sword or famine. They think you're playing. That's what people doing. They think you playing. Oh man, I could do this, man. Hey, ain't nobody gonna, ain't nothing gonna happen. It's all right. It's all right. Okay. Okay. You, you go right on ahead, brethren. The Nabi, the prophets, are nothing but wind, for the word is not in them. Thus shall it be done to them. He said, listen, these people you're listening to, these people telling you about what's gonna be, what ain't gonna be, you know, you, you, you wonder why it ain't happening. Said ain't nothing but wind. Ain't no truth in it. Ain't no weight in their words. Most I ain't told them to say what they're saying. They just saying stuff for money, power, fame, influence. The preachers, the mores, you know, your YouTube and Facebook preachers and mores. Nothing but the wind, for the word is not in them. Thus shall it be done to them. I'm not saying every single one of them. I'm talking about these people that's not in good standing. These people that's really not telling the people rightly. That's not telling them of their evil way. Therefore, thus says the Master, the Mighty One, Zabaoth, the mighty Zabaoth, because they have spoken this word, I am now making my words in your mouth a fire, and this people wood, and the fire shall devour them. You know who told them everything was going to be okay with them? The prophets, the YouTube, the Facebook, mores, and teachers. They tell them everything is going to be cool. That's not my testimony. Hey, listen, they say I tell you about too much. I need to lighten up. Ain't no lighten up. Get in here and take this licking. You know what I'm talking about? And that's why I do what I do, because I don't want to be this kind of person. I don't want to be this kind of person that tell you about all this old good stuff, how everything is gonna be well with you. No, it's not gonna be well with you if you don't line up with this book. It's gonna be bad with you, brethren. It's gonna be real bad. Because they have spoken this word, I am now making my words in your mouth of fire, and this people wood, and the fire shall devour them. I am going to bring upon you a nation from far away. Listen, you're not even considering what I'm gonna do to you, because they from far away. You don't know nothing about them. You know these people. You don't know nothing about this torment I'm finna bring on you. Be like, man, he just caught counts out of nowhere. We don't know where it came from. Hey, that thing came from far away. That judgment came from far away. Man, I caught all this hell. Man, I caught all this destruction. I don't know where it came from. You know where it came from? It came from far away, brethren. O house of Yasharal, says the master, it is an enduring nation. It is an ancient nation, a nation whose language you do not know, nor can you understand what they say. Yeah, they say it's talking about the white man. Their quiver is like an open tomb. Listen, death in them things. You know what I mean? They expert with them bows. You know what they said about the Babylonians? Them boys was expert with them bows. Expert with them bows. All of them are mighty warriors. Listen, all their life they've been training to be my arm, to be my destruction upon you for your wickedness. That's these are kind of judgments the Most High bring. Absolute. Listen, they perfect. They perfect for their job. You know what I'm talking about? Talk about a perfect soldier, perfect judgment. Listen, they know just how to get you. Everybody he brought against us fit these characteristics. They was mighty and they was with all the business. The Assyrians, when they came, they was with all the business. The Chaldeans, Babylonians, expert with all the business. The Persians, expert with all the business. You know why they had to be expert? Because each one had to beat the other one, other than the Assyrians. The Babylonians beat the Assyrians. The Greeks, I mean, the Persians beat the Babylonians. The Greeks beat the Persians. The Romans beat the Greeks. They all had to be mightier and mightier. Listen, that furnace got hotter and hotter. And the hearts of these nations got colder and colder. How the Most High work, man? They gonna get worse and worse. Listen, you think you're doing bad now? Don't listen to the Most High, y'all. If you think you're doing bad now, keep playing with them and see that your latter end be worse than your first. They shall eat up your harvest and your food. They shall eat up your sons and your daughters. They shall eat up your flocks and your herds. They shall eat up your vines and your fig trees. They shall destroy with the sword your fortified cities in which you trust. Listen, Josephus said, Titus, right? The one that led the siege. Titus said, listen, we didn't tear these walls down. Titus said, listen, the Most High tore these walls down. And I think it was a direct quote from Josephus. He said the Most High. Like, he said the Most High tore these. He said, ain't no way we tore these walls down. He said the people trusted in this stuff. They didn't trust in it for no reason. These were some mighty walls. But you know what the Most High said? What I give, I could take away. What I build, I could tear down. Even something I built for your protection, I can make it for your destruction. You better listen to him. You better understand who it is, who you're dealing with. You're dealing with somebody that can make you poop out your mouth till you die. I mean, I don't know about you. That sounds terrifying. This is the kind of deity you serve, not one of wood and stone, not one that don't live, not one that don't judge the quick and the dead, not one that can't harm your body and harm your soul. You dealing with, listen, the worst of the worst and the best. I mean, the best of the best and the worst of the worst is who you dealing with. Don't play with them. Listen, all things come from him. All things come from him. Even evil. You know what evil is? A flip side of good. And I told you he the best of the best. So if he the best of the best, if he could give you things that you couldn't even imagine, that's so good, that's so great, you couldn't even imagine, you better believe he could give you the worst things that you couldn't even imagine. He said a women that aborted their babies is gonna hang by their intestines while they babies that they kill talk to them about it. You kill me, you kill me. You know how hard they got, to hang from your intent. And listen, you're not finna die. You immortal. You immortal in pain and in torment. You want to play with this kind of a person? Immortal. Cut your head off and it go right back on. Slit your throat open, you bleeding, but you don't never run out of blood. But you still feel that same pain, that same sharp. You don't play with somebody like that, brother. I don't think we think about hell enough. I think we all think about fire and just burning. Even that. Imagine you burning and your nerves don't ever stop tingling. See, in real life, you could burn to the point you don't feel it no more. That's not what's going to happen. You going to feel it. You say, what? Why is it so bad? Why is it so bad? It's so bad because he is so good. He is so good that he plead, that he calls out, he sends messengers, he sends help, he sends aid, and we say, "Nah, I'm cool on that. I want to do my own thing. I want to do my own way." He said, "Well, you can go to hell then. You don't want my best. You don't want the greatness of me. Well, hell, you could have the horrors of me." You better quit playing with this man. You better quit playing with him. You better get yourself together, brethren. This Boca, this rising. And when your people say, why has the master our power? Hey, listen, I didn't even know what verse 19 said. I just said what all I said. I didn't read this verse, but listen to what it say. And when your people say, "Why has the master, our power, done all these things to us? Why am I in hell burning?" You shall say to them, "As you have forsaken me and served foreign powers in your land, when you was living, when you was out, when you was able to do everything you wanted to do, you did contrary to me." He said, "So shall you serve strangers in a land that is not yours. So shall you face the consequences of your actions." You know what the consequences of your actions is eternally? Damnation. Play with them. Play with them. Choose you this day whom you shall serve, and serve them fully and serve them uprightly. Verse 20, declare this in the house of Yashral. Proclaim it in Yehuda. Hear this, O foolish and senseless people, who have eyes but do not see, who have ears but do not hear. Do you not fear me, says the master? Do you not tremble before me? I placed sand as a boundary for the sea, a perpetual barrier that it cannot pass. Though the waves toss, they cannot prevail. Though they roar, they cannot pass over it. But this people has a stubborn and rebellious heart. They have turned aside and gone away. Hey, hold on, y'all. Let's get into some music. Let's get into my Octai Serve. Shout out to my Octai Serve and the house of Ty Serve, all the brethren up there in Cincinnati, Ohio. Shout out to IREP ENT, all them brethren. Uh uh shout out to Israel now. All of them. Shout out to man, I can't remember this. It's crazy. I don't even remember the church. But shout out to everybody out in Ohio, uh, doing the work of the Most High Yah, doing the ministry. Shout out to everybody everywhere, all across the world. Music Radio. Shout out to the people on Facebook, YouTube, and everywhere else you might find this podcast in the future. Anyway, this is Ty Serve Overcomer.
You are more than a conqueror. You have spiritual armor. The things that shall be within. Take faith that you are still. We live to a break esteem in the physical, power by the spiritual. Yes, we have grace, yeah, grace is not residual. Allow every man to fulfill what his mission was. We can hear the test. If you and your brother fall out, it's always best to try to make it in before the angel of death. Overcome that pride, that desire to lie, to preserve the view that men have a view from their eyes. If you believe, overcome disease, change what you eat. The things show went to feel the problem to his knees. Yeah, he spoke the word of Elohim. Pray without cease, fast enough repeat. Be quick to praise, on and off your feet, with or without a beat. Don't just do these things so that men can see. It should be a part of you, all the living, being free. I gotta live free, that's the benefits, and he's free from everything, never had no shit over me. Long as I pursue his kingdom faithfully, I don't care how you look at me or view me critically. Critically acclaimed, to hell with the critics. I'm just trying to warn you, I'm expecting you to get it. I'm transmitting, apply solutions is my only ambition. That's the way to fix it. You are more than a conqueror. You have spiritual armor. The things that shall be within. Take faith that you are still. We must flee either words that's been written. Perfect faith is where he trying to get you to purify your temple. Purge out the drama. How you supposed to heal in the house of your trauma? Chasing out the folly you done learned from your mama. Chasing out the cloud and these valueless dollars. Man control victim. Scripted, unscripted. I can't get with it. I'm just cut a little different. You have spiritual armor. The things that shall be redeemed. Take faith that you are saved. You are more than a conqueror. You have spiritual armor. The things that shall be redeemed.
Overcomer. Shout out to my
Song.
shout out to my top serve, man. Let's get back into this thing. I told y'all I was in the coffee house trying to get it. Hold on, I done messed up somewhere. Shut my thing back, get my stuff back going on, yeah. All right. Let's get it back. Let's get it back. Shout out to Sis Alicia and Cold Rain. Beautiful, beautiful married couple. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. Uh this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 5, verse 23. But this people has a stubborn and rebellious heart. They have turned aside and gone away. They not say in their hearts, let us fear the Master our power, who gives the rain in its season, the autumn rain and the spring rain, and keeps for us the weeks appointed for the harvest. Your iniquities have turned these away, and your sins have deprived you of too. For scoundrels are found among my people. Listen, dirty, rotten scoundrels take over the goods of others. Like fowlers, they set a trap, they catch human beings. Like a cage full of birds, their houses are full of treachery. Therefore, they have become great and rich. Hey, these pastors, these people, even more raised, they tell the people give you 10%, that's your tithes, and give you offerings, and you, you know, even people now in some of these communities now. Now, shout out to the righteous leaders that don't mean the people no harm. I'm not talking about you. Now, if you living like in the books of Acts, and y'all have a government, and these people commit themselves unto your government and sign over things to you that you might sell and disperse amongst the people so that no one has a need, right? That's unmet, and you do these things and do them rightly. Shout out to you. This is not to you. This is to the wicked, right? You got people in these communities that get people's checks signed over to them. They get people's cars signed over to them. They get mortgages and leases signed over to them. And they are responsible to sell this stuff and to put it into the community. And oftentimes people do this stuff, right? Give all this stuff up, and they find themselves being kicked out of these communities, being banished after they done sold all this stuff, gave up all this stuff. You know, these are the kind of people, the scoundrels found among my people that take over the good of others, right? These pastors in these churches preaching these words about tithing and offerings and stuff. And they take this money and they don't put this money towards feeding the poor. They don't put this money towards aiding and helping the members of the congregation with needs. Somebody about to get their lights cut off. Well, that person should be aided and helped out of the fund of monies that's been collected. This shouldn't go towards the pastor's Cadillac and his new AMG BMW. No, this is supposed to go toward the good of the people, right? So like fowls, they set a trap. They catch human beings, guilt trip. Shall a man rob God? Well, that's what they doing. They're not robbing God. They're robbing the Most High Yah. We don't deal in GODs. We got a mighty one of Yasharal. We got the mighty one of the Shemaim and their Rots, the creator of the Shemaim and their Rots. When you talk about gods, you talking about Zeus and Ares and Thor and all this whole stuff. Spider-Man, Superman, all this whole stuff. We're not talking about that. This ain't that. Y'all ain't that, right? 27, like a cage full of birds, their houses are full of treachery. Therefore, they have become great and rich. They have grown fat and sleek. They know no limits in deeds of wickedness. They do not judge with justice the cause of the orphan to make it prosper. Kids out here homeless, kids out here without a proper covering. You know what that covering entails? Guidance, instruction, discipline. Women out here without proper coverings. Any married woman to a righteous man, she know what a covering is. She knows what her husband is. She knows what kind of aid he brings to her, any kind of instruction he brings to her. Ask a married woman that's married to a righteous man. Ask her about how her husband treats her. This is what a covering is. This is what the men of the nation is supposed to provide to the orphan and to the widow and to the needy. And it's not what they do. They do not judge with justice the cause of the orphan to make it prosper, and they do not defend the rights of the needy. Shall I not punish them for these things, says the master, and shall I not bring retribution on a nation such as this? An appalling and horrible thing has happened in the land. The Nabi, the prophets, Nab falsely, prophesy falsely, and the Kohanim, the priests, rule as the Nabi direct, right? My people, a hob to have its soul. Listen, this is not the KJV I'm reading. I'm sorry. I did not change over to the KJV. So if any of you listening in, that's probably why it sounds kind of different. And I was wondering why it was certain things that it should have said over there in chapter 4. It should have said size children instead of stupid. It should have said size. Wow. My bad. It is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? The Nabi not falsely. The Kohanim rule by the Nabaim direct. My people love to have it so, but what will you do when the end comes? The KJV says the priests bear rule by their means, right? That's that whole, I'm your pastor, I'm your moray, you gotta listen to me, you gotta do that, right? That's how they bear rule by their means, because the people feel as if they have to serve them, right? And the people love it. The people love it. They're cool with it. You know why? Because you go do all the studying, you go do all the learning, you go do all the living righteously, and you come back and tell us. That's what the people did with Moses. They say, you go talk to the Most High. We don't want to talk to him. You go and hear everything that need to be heard. You come back and tell us. Because Moses was right. Moses was upright. Moses can go and face him without being scary. You know why? Because the Most High didn't mean him no harm when you're upright. When you're upright, you can come, you can talk, you can sit down, and everything cool. But if you ain't right, listen, you need to be scared. That's what the Most High said. They told you right. They need to be scared. You know why? Because they're not right. See, we got to stop running from rightness and start running to it. That's what the remnant is going to do, brethren. And that's what the ones that's going to be saved out of damnation is going to do. They're going to run to rightness. They're going to run to righteousness. They're going to make the Most High's word their name. And they're going to be a nation of Malakim and Kohanim. Todayah. That's what I got for today. That is the end of that one. Oof. I pray you've been edified. I pray you got some of this lesson today. Please hit that like button if you have not already. Hit that share button. Please follow if you're on Facebook. Please subscribe if you're on YouTube. Life of an Israelite page and channel. This is the Script Talk podcast, one of the many podcasts that you'll find on the Life of an Israelite page. Been doing this for a while. So we got the Mark 67 podcast. We got What It Do with B. Lou. We got the scripture reading. We got the chop up. A lot of these aren't in rotation. There are things I did in times past. So go and check all that out. Everybody in these places on YouTube, on Facebook, make sure you go and check out uh uh Truth Music Radio. That's music with the Z, because the Z is for Zion. As a matter of fact, let's do a quick little commercial real quick. The Truth Music Radio. Let you know about all the hot content that you can find there. I'm streaming live right now. Shout out to everybody. Check this out. Check this out right here, right? Hey, Truth Music Radio is the #1 hottest source of truth music. Come see what all the fuss is about. Every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, we got Zebediah Boaz bringing you evening meditation. Mondays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, DJ ch.4-5 of the Zion Speaks Mix will be on the ones and twos. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we got Moshe Buddha will bring you truth, scripts, and world events. Every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, our sister Ray Chantel will be bringing you the sister. Every Friday, tap in to truth, love, and redemption with Dimitri Miller, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't forget about me, your op, Brandon Lewis, every Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, where we will search the scriptures for ways to apply them to life with the Script Talk podcast. All on Music Radio. That's music with a Z, because the Z is for Zion. Powered by the Most High, J Shields Promotions, and Yasharala Nation. Zion, spread the message. Download the app for free on all Apple devices and Android. Shalom.
What you doing? What you doing? You just gonna sit there, ain't you? You ain't planning on hitting no like button. You ain't planning on subscribing. You just gonna sit there and soak up all the content. Not gonna support. Not gonna spread the message. Y'all to be shamed. Maybe this content ain't for you. But maybe it is. Maybe it's for somebody else. Make sure to follow, subscribe. Life of an Israelite on YouTube and Facebook. Shalom.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Shalom. Hey, so man, thank everybody for joining. Abba willing, join me next week, same time, same channel, same place. Script Talk Podcast every Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I pray to see y'all back here then. So we give all honor and esteem to the Most High Yah. Thanks to His Son Yahushua HaMashiach. I'm closing out with Yadid by Anna Vael. Right? You can find this on SoundCloud. But it's not Yadid, it's quote unquote God did. But all praise to the Most High Yah. Thanks to Son Yahushua HaMashiach. 12 tribes, one nation. Hallelujah.
68, verse 4. Sing praises unto God. Sing praises to his name, exalt him that rideth upon the heavens. This is who we praise. Don't ever get it twisted. His throne is forever. Let him that glory in the Most High.
See, I was gonna let live, cause I don't really care who the best is. The Most High told me speak, so here I am. He told me give you this message, so I had to spin the block like Tetris. Now here's what you left with: a messenger bringing correction. They blaspheme the one who exists. That New Testament, it tests men. The words written in red over their head like exit. I don't know what left is, cause righteousness is my direction. They don't know who Christ is until they in crisis. I'm like, why are they like this? See, here's the problem with mankind. They really connected like landlines. When you understand the light is still higher. Open this man's eyes to see like fan signs. The devil try to hit us with a snare like play sides, you know, cause there they play sides. Words getting lost in the crowd like stage dives. Somehow I'm always with the chef like I make pies. These industry fake liars, Jezebel fake trying. Got David in our blood, we slay giants. I'm playing with the stone like I make tires. How dare you speak against what is written, you fake gods. Now catch this contact like fake eyes. Your intelligence is artificial like AI. So here is your answer like AI. Repent.
Never breaking ties with you. You've kept me through. Alpha and the Omega. If not you, then who? We say holy, 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 holy are you. We say holy, 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 yeah. Holy.
I can tell you
he said about the way that we gotta live. Made a covenant with us and not the common kids, and put us on top of the pile over the counterfeits. I'm a testator, I'm a detonator. Quick wake up, all 11 out, but I got my cake up. Can't leave 11 out, 12 gotta raise up and take place amongst divine saviors. What God did, where do I begin? He took me out of that grave, I should be riding in. On cell block, fed time with barbed wire fence. He made me a cornerstone when I ain't have a block to spin. Brought us out of Egypt, we ain't got us swim. We walked through the Red Sea with hands high, singing hymns. All praises to the Father, we the hidden gems. The chariot swinging, know he finna save us again. God did it, I won't he do it. Shamar need a new heart, I pray he get him through it. My mother need a new start, father need a steward. I'ma need forgiveness, but the Lord already beat me to it. He said your brother prayed on you when the devil prayed on you, so the wicked can't harm you. That's why I gotta stay strong till you hear the last trumpet. Chef, I'm only trying to warn you. You see nothing till you see me and my rap. That's famine and bloodbath. You remember what my songs do. Long as you keeping these laws in the faith, prepared to a place where the nations can't come through. God did.
It don't even matter about us. Look what God did. Took us from the world and chasing diamonds and pearls. Now we see his light.